The following content is explicit. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to the Red Rum Podcasters. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Natasha.
And we are so excited. Episode 4. Let's do this thing.
Heck yeah. Let me tell you, I am ready for fall.
So
it's hot up in her.
For those of you who may not know, we are in what we call our pod shack, which is literally a metal barn.
Non-insulated.
And we are in June in Indiana, and it is officially hot.
And I am saving up for an air conditioner. So hopefully we'll get that soon. Right now we just have like a teeny tiny fan, which we can't have on very high because otherwise you lovely people will hear it.
And we're trying to make the audio as clear as possible for y'all.
So, Kristen, you know what I realized?
What?
I haven't asked you how the hell you were.
I'm good. You know, we're coming off of the Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a lot of good family time. Em got to swim like crazy this weekend.
Good.
And I just signed her up for swim lessons, so we're going to be doing that soon. And I didn't realize it whenever I signed her up for it. It's a mommy and me class.
Oh,
So,
surprise!
Mommy gets to get in the water, and shout out to the bestie, Brooklyn. She's going to take over A while I do this because I have nobody else to watch her with Ben working.
Well, when is it?
It's Mondays from 6 to 6:30.
Well, I know somebody who might be available on Monday from 6 to 6:30 who could possibly watch A because she is a freaking angel.
Also, a little bit of background for our listeners. Natasha actually watched my youngest
Yeah,
for like the first 3 months after I went back to work and until we got her into a daycare because, shocker, daycares are hard to get into.
Oh, that is no joke, but I'm not going to lie. It was awesome. I needed a baby fix, and she was the perfect baby to take care of the job. Like, I'm talking, like, barely cried. She ate when I needed her to eat. She just took little naps. And then she'd just be, like, totally cool and want to hang out, want to play and walk around. And she was, I'm telling you, a baby that, like, hardly ever cries and sleeps through dogs barking and the TV on and maybe my kid running around and anything else. Like, I just do whatever. I just plop her in a little thing and go pick my kid up from school because I walk. It's only like a couple blocks. I just put her in there and like everybody would just be like, oh, can I touch the baby? And then they'd like peek and they'd be like, oh, she's sleeping. I'm like, if you touch the baby, I'm going to break your neck. Like, leave her alone. I was like, she's a sweet little angel baby. And they'd always tell me how cute she was. And I was like, I know.
Like she's yours.
Yeah. So actually I had a few people, they were like, when did you have a baby? I was like, she's not my baby. And they were like, oh, my bad. And I was like, do I look like I had a baby?
I am not starting over.
I was like, I'd like to think that I don't look like I could have had a baby. Like, geez. It's like, that's horrible. But, you know.
She's still an angel baby, just an FYI.
She is. And she remembered me.
Yes, she did.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, so that's what we have going on, you know, just all the normal family things. And, you know, with summer coming up, we do have a pond at our house, and putting Em in swim lessons was a big deal for me because she has two nicknames. She is either the tiny terrorist or the that sounds so bad.
I can see that.
Or she's the tiny tornado.
Ooh.
And
that one I think fits her better.
I wanted to just make sure that she kind of had the basics. God forbid something ever happens and she gets into the pond without somebody there.
Oh, yeah.
But I try to keep a very close eye. I wanted her to have like the basics.
So my kid is 11. He's going to be 12. And he's already like 5'5". I'm still scared of him getting into the damn pool, and he can reach the bottom. And I don't know why. I just have this phobia of him and water. It's always been that way. It probably will stay that way.
It only takes 2 inches of water to drown.
See? And everybody says I'm crazy.
What gets me is like parents that are terrified of their children drowning, but they don't take any like preventatives. Like their kids never, they don't know how to swim or...
Hunter learned how to swim because he went to kid camp.
Exactly.
I did not teach him how to swim.
Like
I don't swim.
Like a version of swim lessons, but there's parents out there that are like, I'm terrified of my kid drowning, and then they never take their kid to a swim lesson or teach them themselves like how to float.
I can totally see that being a thing. Me personally, I can see that being a thing because I'd be too afraid that during swim lessons something would happen.
There's always a
They
lifeguard.
found a girl drowned in a pool in high school. I think it was high school, like nearby.
Yeah, I
like
heard
they just,
about that.
yeah, that's horrible. I can't even imagine during like PE or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we swam during PE. I'm not very good. I graduated on a boogie board because the guy liked me. It's okay.
If I remember right, that girl, I mean, it doesn't make it acceptable, but I heard that she did like have a seizure while in the pool, and that's why she drowned.
Well, still, somebody could have got her out of there.
I know.
Oh, well, either way, that's a bummer. But
Sorry
yeah,
for the Debbie Downer there
Yeah.
for a second.
well, I have no idea what Kristen's going to cover today, so I cannot guarantee that she's not going to throw us another Debbie Downer.
This one's actually pretty cool.
Yes.
It kind of resembles your story from episode 2.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah. So it's a woman come back from the dead to solve her own murder.
No freaking way. This is going to be awesome. And I'll try not to ask any questions till the end.
What do you have for us today?
So I actually went a little, well, you could be on the fence. You could either believe it or you think it's total bullshit. I personally, from my experience, I believe that it's true. But mine's about meeting people from a past life. And there's a little bit about the past life stuff. And then I put in things that you can look for in people that you meet to identify whether or not they may be from a past life.
You ready to get into this?
Let's get into it.
Let's just preference this. Preference? Is that right?
I don't know. Finish the rest of the sentence, I can tell you.
By saying, I'm going to start first from here on out. Because my stories can get a little...
Would that be a preface?
Preface, that's
like
correct.
The beginning of the book?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Woo! Look at me. Hey, honey, with the English degree, I used the word. Oh my God. Okay, real quick before we start, I've got to tell you this fucking story because it is hilarious. All right. So we're sitting on the couch and my husband's saying something about a job application or some shit. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, I can't really apply there. I said, because all these places, they just want you to have a bachelor's degree. And I only have 2 associate's degrees. I was like, and they don't care that I graduated second in my class. They don't care. I said, you have to have a bachelor's degree. Otherwise, you can't apply for a job. And he was like, I don't think he was really paying all that attention to me. And then I turned around and I was like, yeah, I said, I guess it doesn't matter if you have a degree that means anything. I mean, you could have a degree in liberal arts. And he looked at me and instantly went, I have a degree in liberal arts. I was like, open mouth, insert foot, son of a bitch. I was like, I'm not saying that it's not a good degree. I'm just saying it doesn't pertain to the job that I was like, I'm just going to stop. I'm just digging the hole.
Poor Clark having to take that kind of abuse from you. Jeez.
I know. I am such a horrible piece of shit. It's all right. Anywho, I know now let's get into your story.
Okay. So are you ready? I know this one has been covered a lot of places, but this is the story of Teresita Basa.
I don't know about it, so this is new to me.
Ooh, that's even
I'm
more
pretty
exciting.
sure it is.
Okay, so Teresita Basa was born in the Philippines in 1929, and she moved to the United States in 1960. She was interested in music, but ended up pursuing a career as a respiratory therapist at Edgewater Hospital in Chicago. At 10 p.m. on February 21st, 1977, the fire department was called to put out a fire in her apartment. They found her body under a mattress, nude, with a butcher knife in her chest.
What?
Yeah. quiet and unassuming, people who knew her was shocked that she had become a victim to such a violent crime. There was evidence that a sexual crime had also been committed, but after the autopsy, it was determined that she had not been raped.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. There was very little physical evidence because of the fire. They did know that her jewelry had been stolen. They had a few suspects, but those didn't go anywhere. More than 5 months after her murder, a co-worker of Basa's, and I'm going to call her by her nickname as to not absolutely butcher her real first name. So her name was Remy Chua, who also happened to be from the Philippines, and her husband Joe contacted the police claiming to have information about her murder. Remy told Joe that shortly after the murder, she started having visions and dreams in which Teresita appeared to her, begging her to go to the police and to tell them what happened to her. According to Joe, one night while Remy was taking a nap, she started speaking in another voice. While speaking in this other voice, she said she was Teresita. She said that her killer's name was Alan Showery and claimed that he was an orderly that worked at the hospital. She urged Joe to go to the police, but when she woke up, Remy had no memory of what happened, so Joe decided not to go to the police.
This is starting to sound a little familiar, but I'm not 100% sure yet.
The voice then possessed Remy a second time and asked Joe why he didn't go to the police, and he said that he had no evidence against Showery. The voice then told Joe about the missing jewelry, saying that he had taken it after he murdered her and had given it to his girlfriend. Ooh. When Joe took this information to the police, the detective didn't know if he could trust it or not. He decided to do a background check on Showery. So with this background check, he found that Showery lived close to Teresita, and coworkers confirmed that he was supposed to go to her apartment that night to fix her TV.
Right, likely.
The detective brought Showery in for questioning, and he confirmed that he was at her apartment to fix the TV, but didn't have the right tools, so he went home. The detective called his girlfriend in for questioning and asked her if her boyfriend had given her any jewelry recently, and she said that he had.
Well, at least she admitted it. I'm wondering why Dildo over here was like, I'm going to go fix the TV, but not bring any of the tools that I need to fucking fix it. Like, it was obviously pre-planned that you were going to fix the TV.
Yeah.
That's like going to work on a car, and you're like, well, I forgot my tools.
Yeah. So she agreed to let Teresita's family inspect it, and they confirmed that it was, in fact, Teresita's. Showery confessed to the murder, and he said that after he left her apartment, he made a plan to return and rob her. So he left to go get his tools, and whenever he did that, that's whenever he planned the robbery.
Okay.
So when he came back and she let him in, and when she turned around to lock the door, he grabbed her from behind and attacked her. He took her clothes off to make it look like a sexual crime. He then took her mattress and placed it over her body and set it on fire. Despite confessing, he pled not guilty to her murder, and when his trial ended in mistrial, he decided to plead guilty on February 23rd, 1979.
Excusez-moi?
Even worse, he received only 14 years and was released on parole in 1983.
I told you. See, and we were just talking last week about your heist, and the homie got 24 years. This dude killed a girl, lit her on fire, and he doesn't even get that.
Yeah.
Bullshit. That.
At least it wasn't the husband this time.
Oh, well, but yeah, true. Or boyfriend or whatever. This was crazy coworker, right?
Yeah.
I'm just. So he went there to quote unquote fix the TV.
Yeah, he
didn't have the tools left.
And that's whenever he decided to rob her.
But one, did not wait until she was gone to rob her. I think he planned on killing her the entire time. I love how I just edited that word. That really cracks me up.
Yeah, I don't know if that was completely the plan, but maybe he decided, like, whenever he got back to rob her, that, like, if he was gonna actually rob her, it wasn't gonna end well for him because she knew who he was. You know, like,
that's what I'm saying. Why not wait until she's gone and she's not home and break in?
people are idiots.
Like, not to mention, if you're going in there to fix the TV, at what point did you see her jewelry to know what she had worth taking?
Yeah. Because, I mean, back then it wasn't like you had bedroom TVs.
Yeah.
So unless she had, like, one of those, you know how some people have, like, the dishes by their front door where, like, they throw their keys and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe she took it off there.
Maybe. But who takes their jewelry off when they walk in the house?
Or because they work together, maybe she talked about, like, the kind of jewelry that she had, and that's whenever he's like, gonna rob this girl. And then she was like, oh, can you fix my TV? And he's like, perfect opportunity.
Oh, I'm thinking homeboy was all up in her business, wanted a piece of that ass. She says no. She's probably been telling him no, like, oh my God, whatever. And then she's finally like, well, I need my TV fixed. And he's like, well, you bet I could get it. And, you know, trying to be knight in shining armor, he goes over there to quote unquote fix the TV, thinking it's going to be like some porno shoot. And all of a sudden they're going to be doing it on the couch. But she says no, and he gets mad and he kills her. But that doesn't make any sense because then he probably would have violated her afterwards.
Or before. Like, because if he was going to, like, overtake her and attack her,
yeah,
he could have just raped her then.
I'm just thinking there's got to be, I think he wanted her dead. And I think the jewelry was, I'm going to make it look like it was a robbery gone wrong.
Then the question is, why would he want her dead?
See, that's what I'm saying. Maybe unless she just kept telling him no. Because men can't handle it. Sorry, a little sour there, can you tell?
But yeah, so that was Teresita Basa's case.
Whew. That was kind of rough.
Yeah, it wasn't like so it wasn't, you know, necessarily like her ghost coming back to tell people, but like she possessed someone that she knew.
Unless her ghost did the possessing.
I mean, yeah, could have been.
I mean, maybe. The fact that she was like talking in a different voice, that one lady to her boyfriend.
Yeah, Remy.
Yeah, that's kind of cool to me. And then the fact she didn't remember anything she said afterwards, like she straight on was possessed.
Well, and the fact that like, so say it was Teresita's ghost that possessed her, to know to possess someone that not only knows the people that you're talking about, like they work together, but to do it to somebody that you know is going to have somebody there to like relay the info.
Well, if I was like floating around in Ghostland and I had just been murdered, like I'd want to tell, like I want somebody who's going to fucking do something. Like I would, okay, like I'm going to pick on you. Like if you died and you were like, you know what? I'm going to possess Natasha and she's going to tell Clark. Not a good idea because Clark thinks I'm full of shit. He doesn't believe any of this crap that I tell him that I've experienced. Like, he doesn't tell me I'm batshit crazy, thank God, but he doesn't believe me. So, like, it wouldn't do any good to possess me because I wouldn't be able to help you. Because, A, I wouldn't remember when you possessed me. And B, he wouldn't. I love how we talk about possession. Now the mics are moving on their own. That's fantastic. But, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be much help.
Well, and it took 5 months. Like,
oh, so you know what?
It was 5 months later after her murder that she.
Well, maybe it took 5 months for her ghost to get enough energy to possess somebody. I'm sure that's exhausting. She's probably like running little ghost marathons, trying to like work up to it. Flashing lights, you know, opening cabinet doors, something. Have you ever seen Supernatural?
Yeah.
You know, when they die, Bobby dies, and he's trying to figure out how to, like, get the kid's attention. And he's like, son of a bitch, this is harder than it... Yeah. That's what I'm thinking right now. But, just so you know, if you ever died and you want somebody to, like, go, like, find your fucking killer, you need to possess Clark and come talk to me.
Will do.
All right. Deal.
The hard part is it would probably be your own cousin that murdered me.
I am willing to turn him in.
Because Lord knows... it's the husband.
It's always the husband. It's always the husband. Or the boyfriend or the wife. It's always the wife. We can't pick on just the men. You know, they might get butthurt. It's always the wife or the husband. It's always the spouse.
Significant other.
Yeah, it's always the spouse. Anywho, that's a good story. I like that one.
Now, are you ready for the intervention?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get cracking on that. Welcome to this week's Inner Bitchin'. This topic is U.S. cities with the highest crime rates. Number 1.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Number 2.
Detroit, Michigan.
Number 3.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Number 4.
Pueblo, Colorado.
And number 5.
Tacoma, Washington.
And thank you for listening to the Inner Bitchin'. I hope you liked our fun facts.
You ready to get into this?
I'm excited.
All right, I'm excited. This topic to me, I think, is super cool. I feel like I've experienced it, and I'm sure other people have, and so I'm kind of curious, too, as to whether or not you have.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever met someone you felt like you'd known your whole life as soon as you met them?
Yes.
Maybe you met that person in a past life, and that's why you recognize them. I've done that. I've met someone and been like, I swear I know you. I know you. Like the inside of you. I recognize it. And it's like, sometimes it's not always a good thing. Sometimes you're like, ugh, I'm pretty sure I've known this person before and they're a bitch. But sometimes it's just, you can meet someone and you can look them in the eye and it's like you feel that your soul knows their soul.
Yeah.
Like you know that you know them. You might not know how or when or where or whatever, but you just know that you have. So that is usually what happens when you run into somebody from a previous life. So here are some things that might bleed over from a past life or things you might experience if you are talking to somebody that you know from a past life or meeting them. So one is deja vu.
Get that all the time.
So you may know things that you had not been taught. I mean, like the people, they bump their head, which I'm assuming, I don't know if the bumping their head thing classifies as being a past life, but there might be like kids or whatever, which I'm going to go more into depth probably in some of those stories another time, but they might know French. Nobody they know knows French. They're like 4 years old or something, and they're speaking French to somebody, and no one taught them. They just know. Or they might be able to play a piano, like just sit down and just start playing, never had a lesson in their life. Stuff like that. So there's fears and phobias that you might have that might roll over from a past life. You may fear what killed you in a past life or have totally irrational fears. It might be, I'm a bad example, but we're going to use me as an example here. Let's pretend that I'm a good swimmer. And
this kind of just ties right into the beginning.
It does. And say I'm good at swimming. I've never had any traumatic water experiences. Everything's been fine. I swim every summer. But for some reason, I am absolutely petrified of drowning. Something like that might be, well, maybe in a past life, that's how I died.
Yeah.
Or maybe you fell and you're afraid of heights or something like that.
Like we have a friend and him and my husband went on a Vegas trip a year ago and he had never been on an airplane and he was terrified. Like to the point where he drove himself home and would not get back. Like he would not get on the plane.
That is bonkers.
Yeah, so Ben flew back by himself because his friend would not get on the plane.
So maybe he either got in a plane crash or he fell from somewhere high.
Because he even requested like a lower room. Like they were in like a high tier room.
I bet that's what it is.
So he's like scared of heights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder, that could be it. Because it might be something like that. There's some that are habits, so your hobbies or other interests may hint at who you were in a past life. Maybe I was some crafty lady or something like that because I crochet and I enjoy crocheting. Or maybe I was an artist because I like drawing and coloring and all that. I'm not that great, but I like to do it. But there might be stuff like that where it might be like, oh, well, like same thing with the piano. Someone just loves playing the piano and all this stuff. Maybe they did that in a past life. That's who they were, and it rolled over into this life. Then we have physical pain or birthmarks. people believe that if you were injured in a past life, the residual pain can follow you into your next life. Well, let me tell you, past life me, you fucking suck. Because my back is always hurting, and I'm pretty sure it's not just because of the tatas.
I don't know. They are pretty big.
That is true. So we could rock the same boat of lower back pain for that reason.
100%.
But it's stuff like that where they might be say in a past life you were, we're gonna go way back. You were killed with a spear and you were stabbed in the leg and it severed your femoral artery.
Why
that was a
would
little
you say
specific,
that?
wasn't it?
My birthmark
No
is on the
fucking
back
way.
of my calf.
Are you kidding me? Okay, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
And awesome. Okay, so let's say that happened. Then in your next life...
Tasha's just like a medium. Like, she's just like, you were killed in a whaling accident.
It was a whaling accident. You must have been from Scandinavia like me. Us Vikings. Well, that's true.
Look at us. I mean, it's completely plausible.
That is so funny. But I really do. You'd be surprised how often that these type of moments happen to me, and it is awesome.
Why would you say that? Why are you coming at me in a past life?
maybe I threw the spear. but yeah, so they say that, you know, if you get injured or say there's been people that, I mean, there's been, let's see here, there was like a kid, I think he said like he had been shot.
Oh, I remember reading that story.
Yeah, like he said he had been shot and it was like his friend or business partner shot him and he died and this is his name and this is like who his family was and he had, you know, a wife and daughter and all this stuff. And come to find out, the exact same place where this guy was shot is the exact same place where this kid had his birthmark. So that's kind of cool. I mean, you may just feel comfortable around people and they're not from your past life. You just have the same vibe. Maybe you have the same energy. But sometimes they could be from past lives. And if that's the case, there's some common things that you can put into consideration. How about that? One of them is instant familiarity. Woo! Say that 5 times fast. So you may look at this person, like I said earlier, which that's really funny that I said that because I totally forgot I put this in here. You look them in the eye and you experience this deep sense of recognition. Like you don't know what it is, but you know to your core that you know this person. You know what type of person they are. You know what type of person they're going to be. You know everything about them and you just met them. They say that souls are infinite and timeless, so you may know them from a previous life and may recognize them in a future life as well. So it might be that there might be somebody from your past life that you don't meet in this life, but you might run into them in your next one. It's like a giant reset button that plays over and over and over. I'm not sure how I feel about all that, but
let's just hope in my next life I come back as a millionaire.
There may be unusual longing to be together when you're apart. So you meet this person, you know, you identify them as somebody that you swear you know, and then like if you're apart, even if you're like out of eyesight, you just want to be with this person all the time. Like something just pulls you in like 24/7.
That's Ben whenever he comes home. Like, I don't even recognize that I do it sometimes, but whenever he comes home, I'll like follow him to the bedroom where he's going to go change into like comfy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, stop following me.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm just so happy that you're home.
Guilty.
Yeah. Like, I just need to be near you. Or like, and you know, it's one of those situations where like, I don't even need to be talking to you. I just want to be next to you.
Yes. And that's what they say is like, you want to be around them as much as possible because they're comfortable to you. They make you feel comfortable and you want that like a safety net.
Maybe I'm just always married to Ben in every life.
Maybe.
Okay, so can you make Ben a millionaire in the next life?
Why not make both of them a billionaire in the next life?
That works.
Legally billionaires in the next life?
Yeah.
No heist?
No heist.
No murder?
No murder.
Okay. No embezzling and no counterfeiting. Okay. Just wanted to throw those out there for the world to hear. They may also induce a strong reaction in you. If the relationship begins with an extreme level of conflict, passion, anger, desire, distress, or joy, there is thought to be a strong chance that you have soul ties together. So like I said, it's not always a good thing. It's not always a bad thing. I think that explains some of the butterflies in the stomach feeling, or people say when they're like, googly eyed.
When they're in the puppy love,
Yes.
honeymoon love
Yes.
stage.
Like you meet them and like instantly, like you're like, what's the word? I can't think of. I'm doing a motion. You can't see it.
She's wiggling in her chair.
You get all like,
She's
woo!
shimmering now. Like,
But you get the tinglies when you meet someone.
it's like
It's almost like your energy. Like you have this like battery, and you're holding a battery, and they're holding a battery, or like a magnet, and you get close together, and all of a sudden your batteries start charging, and you're all like super pumped and excited, but a little anxious, and
you're like charged.
yeah.
Like you have that charged energy
Yeah.
between you.
Yeah. Kind of like whenever you scoot on the floor and your socks on the carpet and then you pop someone. Kind of like that, only like bigger. You could also instantly form a deep bond. You could be wrapped up in a whirlwind romance because your souls are so excited to be united. So that's something where, you meet someone and it's like bing, bang, boom. You got fireworks, shit's going crazy. You're like bananagrams for like everybody and everything. And it might just be that your souls have been apart for so long that they're so excited to see each other that you just can't contain it. This person might understand your emotions, feelings, and just you overall as a human without you having to mention anything. You can have a conversation with this person and not say a word, but y'all know exactly what the other one is thinking. I know I've met people like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be your best friend, like you don't know, and you guys just get along and you're like bing, bang, boom. You're finishing each other's sentences and, reading each other's minds and just getting like peas in a pod. Another thing that could happen is you could share like little quirks or triggers that you might have in common. So, you might meet somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, you do that too? I can't believe that I do that too. I've never met somebody else who does that weird thing that I do. I don't know. Pop your big toe. I don't know. And in a certain way, I can do this. I can wave with my big toe.
She is in fact waving with her big toe.
Just the big toe. Never met anybody who could do that. So I haven't found my toe soulmate yet. Can't do it, can you?
I can wave with it like this, but I can't stick it up and wave with it like you can.
Yeah.
I think that's just being double jointed.
Well, maybe there's another, whatever my soul person is, they can wiggle their big toe. Shout out if you can wiggle your big toe.
Please write in. You're Natasha's soulmate. No,
Yeah, you might be.
She has a husband.
We could be soul friends.
Love
We
you,
could be
Clark.
soul friends. Yes, love Clark. Big love.
But he cannot wiggle his big toe.
I don't know. Can he? I'm going to ask him tonight. You bet your ass.
I better be getting a message telling me if he can wiggle his big toe.
You will. There is an intuitive or telepathic connection between the two of you. So you may feel that you already know a lot about each other that you shouldn't know. It might be that you, just from looking at them, you can tell that they grew up in a single parent home or they had a lot of siblings or whatever. You just, something inside you knows so that you can relate to them and all of that fun jazz. You don't need to fill those silences because you could communicate without speaking. And sometimes it takes just a simple look. And I've met people like that where all I've got to do is just look and I don't have to say a word and they know exactly. They know if they're in trouble. They know, well, it kind of depends on that. But there's people out there that are like that. And it says it's nearly impossible to stay away from each other. Could be an off and on again relationship. It may seem like there's a force beyond your control pulling you together. And this could show as a long-held rivalry as well. So it's not all about positive stuff. It could be that, Bathsheba over here, is a total freaking bitch, and I just hate her, and I don't know why I hate her, but I've hated her since the second grade when she sat, with her pigtails, and I just wanted to rip them off and shove her head into the desk. I don't know. Poor Bathsheba.
These poor souls are not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yes. So it might be that, you recognize, or maybe you run into somebody from a past life who actually killed you. That probably wouldn't be too friendly.
No, not at all.
I wouldn't guess.
I'd kill him back.
Kill him back. My turn, bitch.
Where's that whaler at?
Where's my harpoon? So time may seem irrelevant when you're around each other. They say that it could feel like you're the only two people in the world, and time might seem like it stands still in their presence. I don't know about you guys, but you ever go on like a date and you're like, I'm only going to go, we're going to have dinner and drinks. It's going to be like an hour and a half max, and then I'm getting the fuck out of there. And the next thing you know, it's like 3 hours and you're still at the restaurant and you're like, what just happened? Holy shit, I've got to go. Like,
once again, get out of my life, Natasha. That's kind of what mine and Ben's first date was like, but it wasn't we didn't like stay in the restaurant.
Really? Get it?
No. Okay, for those who don't know, mine and my husband have a 10-year age difference. I was 18 whenever I met Ben, and
it's legal.
It's legal. I was in college, okay? I was out of high school. Like, on our first date, we went to dinner, and then we went to his truck to just talk some more without having, like, all of the people around. And we sat in that parking lot for hours. I mean, to the point where, like, I lived 45 minutes away, and I'm like, I've got to go home.
I mean, in your defense, Ben does talk a lot. It kind of runs in the family.
Our poor children, I do too.
I love it. But yeah, I think we've all experienced that at some point where you just totally lose track of time and you're like, oh shit, I gotta go. Or it's like, it feels like it's been 5 minutes and it's been half an hour and you're scrambling because you gotta like be somewhere and it's just a mess. Or people where, so like, for instance, Clark and I have been married. Oh, good God. I love you, honey. I'm so sorry. I don't know, like 2 or 3 years. I'm really not sure. But it feels like it's been like 15. It just feels like time just freezes. So I feel like I've been living the same thing. It just is like super fast. So I'll be like, oh yeah, that's why I can't ever remember how long we've been freaking married, because it feels like it's been, forever, and it's not been. Which, by the way, don't feel bad, Kristen, because there's 10 years between you and Ben, and there's 23 years between me and Clark.
I get that. But our thing with like me and Ben having 10 years between each other is the fact that we've also been together since I was 18. So it was a little younger than like what you were when you met Clark.
Well, he was busy. He was, married and possibly out of state. I don't know what the hell he was doing whenever I was 18. Probably collecting his pension.
He was out of college. He had a baby, didn't he?
Yeah, he graduated college when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, and his daughter's not that much younger than you, is she?
She's, dear God. Sorry, B. I think she's 22 or 23.
Oh, so she's my age. Well, no. God, how old am I? I'm 26 now. Son of a bitch.
Well, anyway, he probably, I don't know. I just know he was graduating college whenever I was in elementary school, and it's like, fun fact, when he graduated high school, I was like just getting out of diapers. Anyway, the relationship could be teaching you a lesson that is hard to swallow. So one of the experiences that almost all past life connections have in common is that they always are intense and are often difficult. Karma is said to be attached to every relationship, and because of this, the relationships could be overwhelming, confusing, and heartbreaking. So it might be bad timing, or, you have that, I don't know, one that got away or whatever, I don't know. Or it could be that you run into your arch nemesis at a very shat time. Yes, I said shat again. Also, it could be that it's in your cards. So a great 3-card spread to figure out if you're from a past life are, where have I met this person before? What kind of relationship did we have in our past lives? And why are we meeting again in this life? Some people even do, that's right, hypnotherapy. I am not a fan of this. I don't think I trust it.
No.
No? Okay.
I don't know. It just seems weird.
But they say that you could do self-guided meditation to meet your soulmate. Some say you just know, because that's not vague or anything. It is said that your heart knows exactly what is familiar and what isn't.
I mean, I believe that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there are those people where you meet and you're just, like, immediately comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm. I always tell everybody the nose knows. I don't know why. Well, probably because I have a really good nose, which is rather unfortunate in many cases, but sometimes it's not too bad.
With a husband and an almost teenage boy at home, it's a bad thing.
Yeah. And dogs.
Yeah.
And cats. But yeah, so those, I know that was a little bit lengthy. There was a lot there, but those are different things that you could put into consideration to figure out whether or not this person you're thinking about is from a past life.
It's pretty neat.
Ooh,
it's definitely something to, like, it makes you think about it a lot.
Instead of just being like, oh, maybe there's a reason I recognize this person. Maybe there's a reason I feel that way with this person. Like, I didn't think about that. I've had that happen to me. And I was going to ask you, too, about card readings. I'd like to do that at some point if that's something that you're into.
Yeah, that could be like a Patreon episode. We could read our tarot cards. I've never done anything like that.
I've never done it either, but I think it'd be super badass to do it. So we just got to get a deck.
Subscribe to the Patreon to listen to it.
Yes. Good segue. Check us out on the Patreon. We have $1 and $5. $1 gets you the shout out, and $5 gets you the shout out and a bonus episode every month.
You sound like a raffle ticket person. Like,
come get your raffle tickets. 2 for $1. 10 for 20. But all the Patreon stuff, I mean, that just goes towards softwares. You know, if we need any other equipment that we need to get.
An air conditioner.
Yes, that could definitely help with the air conditioner.
It is so hot in here right now.
Yeah, we're sweating balls. It's pretty bad. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got sass and a sweaty taint. Like, it's bad. I'm just being honest here. I need a shower.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, head on over and check us out on our social media. We have Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got a Facebook group on Facebook, obviously. And it's all the Red Rum Podcasters. If you want to reach out and let us know, give us some feedback, have any requests of topics or anything, you can reach out on social media or send us an email to the redrumpodcasters@gmail.com. We also ask if you wouldn't mind being an absolute doll and going in and leaving us a positive review on whatever platform you listen to, because those positive reviews are going to help us get more people listening and get us out there a little bit more. So that would be absolutely beneficial if you guys could do that for us.
Tell your friends.
Yes, tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. I don't know why all of a sudden, I think I just got possessed for a second. That came out kind of weird, didn't it?
Were you
Tell your neighbors.
Were you Remy?
I don't know what the hell I was. Whew.
I just want to say one more thing, because we haven't mentioned it since the intro episode. Shout out to Bunny Bitch and the Plague Bird for being our
Mascots.
audience.
Yeah, they're little audience guys. They're fantastic. Poor Plague Bird, he fell on the floor because these hips don't lie, and I accidentally knocked him over.
She gets too excited. Sometimes it's okay.
Well, I can't help it. But yeah, so check us out over there and hit us up on social medias. Tell everybody you know. Tell everybody you don't know. I don't care. Find somebody on the subway. Tell them about the pod. Send them our direction. Hey, I would do it.
Sorry, I was just looking at you like, the subway, really? Like, is any of our listeners listening on a subway right now?
I don't know. We've had people from different states. We've had couple listeners from different countries.
Yeah, that's true. We were able to see all of the numbers from, like, where people listened, and we had a couple from 2 different countries listen to the intro, so maybe we'll have some international listeners.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be so cool. We need some. Where's all our people in our other countries? We just had one. We had one from 2 different countries, and that was awesome. So just, word of mouth is fantastic. let everybody know so we can get them all on the boat with us.
Rate and review, like she said, and follow our podcast so that you get notifications whenever we drop episodes on Sundays.
Sounds good. Other than that, you got anything?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, take care of yourselves and stay strange.